Hello everyone, and welcome back to another exciting edition of ZensCorp. Today is a public service announcement about hiring people who owe you a debt. It's a very simplistic idea. I'm not sure why more employers haven't thought to do this. You see a lot of people that have been looking for work for some time in a field that they're good at and cannot find work, and then they'll apply to something that's available, like let's say a customer service position or collections or tech support, and they'll hear nothing back from the company, but the company still has the open positions available. Now, realistically, companies should actually hire the people who owe them first, because if you think about it, this mainly applies to like electric or utilities or cable companies, things like that. Something that most everyone has to use the service of in some way or another. Now, let's say you lose whatever job you have. Now you end up falling behind on your bills. Of course, this company sends you the bills, the late fees, the notices, eventually cuts you off. You're still looking for work. You haven't found anything. You even applied to them. Not heard anything back. But that's where it gets really weird. You'd think that they would actually consider hiring this person that owes them money, because that would be a very smart thing to do. So let's get right into that right now. Why companies should hire someone that owes them money. Basically, that is how that would be a great resolution, okay, on solving a debt. A debt. Basically, hire. That is the key word here. So let's get right into it. This is, to me, what the word hire would be a good acronym for. Helping inspires reciprocal endeavors. So let's just get right into that. What do I mean by that? Basically, if you hire somebody, and especially if they've been unemployed for a while, they will be very appreciative of having the residual income again. A lot of times, you don't have residual income, and even on these per diem basis employments or freelance or anything like that, you don't have residual income. It's based on when you can get jobs. Not the greatest thing in the world, but you do what you do to get by. So basically, by having a stable income, you'd be more appreciative of your job, less likely to goof off or do stupid things, like steal from the company. Another one, this is actually very important to companies that are looking to hire somebody. If you hire somebody who owes you a debt, they would be more willing to agree to additional things in their contract, basically addendums in their contract, um, like garnishing their wages. Okay, now let's say you pay them $10 an hour, and they owe you $400, $500. Now you're paying them $10 an hour, and as part of the contract, you make sure you put in there section whatever at the end, as part of the agreement, 10% of the weekly pay would go towards repayment of the debt owed until the debt is repaid. So that's basically $50 for every week. Takes about 10 weeks, the $500 is repaid. Now the whole thing is, it's not illegal to do that, because it is not indentured servitude, because you're not taking their whole paycheck. You're still giving them enough to live on. You're still giving them $450 if they make $500 a week. Or if they make $400 a week, you're still giving them $360 to live on for that week, well, pre-tax. But because you are giving them a steady paycheck, they'll be more agreeable to go, okay, yes, you can garnish my wages in order to get me squared away with that debt. Now, this one is very important. I note that originally I had actually entered here willingness to work longer, and then I realized, wait, certain conditions do apply to that. Now, at times when I had long periods of unemployment, and other people have had this too, you take pretty much any job you can get. Great. Now, you finally found a job, and you're very appreciative of the company because now you have residual income, and you're willing to do the job, work hard, get it done, as well as go above and beyond what you have to. But certain conditions will factor in whether or not you'll be willing to do overtime or do beyond what you can. For example, I am a type 1 diabetic, and there are certain jobs that I literally cannot do because of their rules. Like some places have rules that you cannot have any food or drink other than water on the floor with you. So now if I have an extreme low, I have to eat crackers or bread or have some kind of fruit juice. But rules of the company was no, I can't do that. So that job I actually resigned from because it wasn't fair to the company, because they knew I was diabetic when they hired me. So Americans with Disability Act said they couldn't fire me. It's not very fair to them. But as I said, depending on the conditions, as long as the conditions are suitable. The only other position I ever had where I went a period of time without work and then started working was through a temp agency, and basically I would have done the overtime. However, I've seen the rate at which people were let go, primarily those who accepted any and all overtime. I'm not certain if it's because by taking the additional overtime they were costing the company, I would say. But as I said, the conditions were simple. The conditions were optimal, actually, at that job. Pretty much optimal. But the distance wasn't too agreeable. But I still went along with it because they paid well. And as I said, the work environment was relatively okay. So I was more than willing to work overtime if absolutely necessary, and they did not have an issue with me having overtime. This is also very important. Now, a person who owes you a debt, since you are offering them a position, they will more than likely be willing to agree to any length of probationary period because they're getting paid during that period. So now there are some companies that have a typical 3 month probationary period. Basically, during that probationary period, any kind of violation, you're just gone. Now, the fact is, if the person owes you money, you can actually extend that probationary period if you wanted to, as long as it was in their contract, and most likely they'll agree to it because, well, they're going to get paid, so they don't care. But yeah, the probationary period is very important in some cases. I mean, obviously, depending on what the job is, some places have none by standard, and you can just tack one on into their contract. Most people will just agree to it because now they're getting paid. Now, this is actually a very good point. The possibility of attaining quality talent. The fact of the matter is, so many companies out there will not hire based on really stupid factors. But this whole thing is, if you start considering people who owe you money, odds are you might find somebody who's really good at the job. And now they're actually earning income. They found a position that they're good at. You found an employee that's good at this job. It's mutually beneficial. It becomes a win-win. Just like the fact that since you're employing them and you're garnishing their wages, you're getting what they owe you. That's also a win-win situation. See, so it's no, not really a good idea to just overlook these people, because we all need to actually have some kind of purpose. It's it's always a good thing to have a purpose, and some people are better at some areas than others, and other people are better at different areas than others. It's just the way it is. For example, the position I was speaking about not too long ago, for some reason in the metal shop, I was very good at sanding metals, while others were not. A lot of people had the persistent cough when they were working with the metals. Um, Other areas of the warehouse I just wasn't that keen on. I mean, I was a standard steady worker, but just not as high quality. So, but yeah, as far as certain areas, you might find people who are exceptionally good at it, but you'll never know, because a lot of times you're going, oh well, I don't want to hire this guy because he doesn't seem to be paying off things that he owes. His credit's bad. And I've seen a couple of companies that basically do credit checks. I'm not sure why. Okay, now this one's good. More likely to go above and beyond returning the favor done by hiring them. Now, this is actually something I've actually talked about already, and in several ways mentioned. As I said, you already, by giving them a job that provides them stable income, you've already done them a great favor. They already are in debt to you for doing that favor. Not to mention the debt they already owe you from, the bills. So now, since you're being so kind as to do this for them, they will actually be more than likely to provide outstanding service to your clients, or to do their job better than you would have expected them to, because you've done something for them. You've shown some kind of compassion by doing something for them. So now they're going to want to show that compassion back to you. It's not just a take, because they already are in debt to you. They want to get rid of that debt. And now you've given them an opportunity to get rid of that debt. So technically, you've doubled that debt to them. And they can eliminate one. And then once they eliminate the one, now they're working for you. If they're really good at the job, technically they're still in debt to you. And since they're working for you, they're going to be continuing to do exceptionally well. Now, this, as I said, this garnishing the wages of hiring someone who owes you a debt, it guarantees you're going to get your money back. As I said, you can garnish their wages, say 10%. So now, if they make $500 a week, that's actually so you make $10 an hour. If you work 50 hours a week, roughly at $10 an hour, which is like, if you're flat rate, that's or salary, that's different, but that's usually about $10 hours overtime. But basically, in 50 hours in 1 week, okay, now they're gonna make at $10 an hour, 50 hours in 1 week. They'll make a little bit more than $500 a week. Now you're garnishing their wages. So in 10 weeks, you get your money back. Simple as that. Now if you want, you can actually set the probationary period to be exactly aligned with the debt repayment. So once the debt repayment is done, you've gotten your money back. Now you do your evaluation. And then if you want to keep them on, you can. If not, you can go, well, okay, it's not working out. And our agreement was that we would keep you on at least until your debt was repaid. So now you no longer have that debt. However, you're not working out an employee. So basically, by doing that, you'd get your money back. And since you gave them the opportunity to earn some income in the meantime, less likely to be hard feelings there or disgruntledness. Either way you want to look at it. So, yeah, those are actually some very good reasons to consider hiring someone who owes you a debt. Um, I hope this has actually been informative, and I hope that people actually take it into consideration because there are a lot of people who are looking for work and they are trying very hard to find work, and not many people are willing to give them the opportunity, and some places actually run credit checks. And what they don't understand when they places that consider credit checks is that in order to have good credit, you have to owe somebody money, pay that money that you owe on time, and that has to be going on for a while. However, you need income in order to be able to pay what you owe. So if nobody's willing to give you a job, you're not going to be able to pay. You're going to have bad credit. But going based on credit check is not a good idea. But I hope this has been informative for everybody, and I really do hope that more companies will consider hiring someone who owes them money. Because I know a great number of utility companies that would benefit from doing this. Now, I won't name any offhand, but several are cable, internet, and phone providers, electric companies, phone companies, cellular phone, um, banks, and a large number of companies that could do this. So I thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And please take this advice to heart. Consider hiring someone who owes you money, and just garnish their wages. Be better off in the future for everybody. Thank you.